Go ahead,
Say
questions,
about
Jared.
Cale for going out, coming back.
Yeah, he's tough. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, he gets hit, and then he can't kind of finish that shift, and it turned into a little bit of a debacle. He's certainly sore, but he's able to come back and continue to play, which is big. Scores, he kind of kept playing his game, grinding through it. Hopefully he's not too sore tomorrow.
He's the fifth fastest defenseman in the modern era to reach 100 goals. I mean, is that impressive? Does anything he does
Well,
impress?
it's certainly impressive. I mean, you think how long the league's been around, and I mean, we've talked about that for years now, like some of the milestones that he hits and the timing of them, how quickly he hits them. I mean, I'm a little biased, but you're watching one of the best defensemen that's ever played the game. There's no question. And the league has a handful of guys that are super dynamic right now. I think that's a trend that we're going to see moving forward. But in my opinion, he's the best of the best.
Coach, you shake up that second line a little bit, put Casey with Drouin and Lehkonen, and not only does he get Casey going, but that line just drove results all night. What are your thoughts on that line as a whole?
They were outstanding. Yeah, the play, it just seemed like the game slowed down for those guys against a real tough checking team, right? And they've got a couple lines. Like, that's a dangerous offensive team. I thought we did a nice job on the checking side of it, especially that line. Like, they were above the puck, above outlets all night long, made it difficult for the other team to move. And then when they had opportunities, they executed at a high rate, and they got rewarded for it. But really connected as a group. It was a really good game. It was great to see.
Casey responded well to whatever conversations you're having with him.
I feel like it's on a slow build. Obviously tonight not slow. Like, that's a really good game, because part of his, like, a guy like Casey's gonna, like, he wants to produce, right? He knows that's part of his identity, part of his job. He expects to produce on a nightly basis, but you got to do the right things with and without the puck. A lot that goes into it. We try to key it down to 4 or 5 certain things that we want him to make sure he's doing consistently, hard enough and competitive enough, and using his legs and skating. And he was doing that tonight. But he's been on a slow build for a couple of games. I've liked a few. Even though our team hasn't played well, I felt like his game was improving over the last week or so. So hopefully that helps break him out and he stays productive.
You chose to go with Wedgewood tonight?
Yeah.
Against his former team, what do you think of his?
I thought he was a little rusty, like a couple of those goal line drives. Like, they get 3 there. I think our D kind of boxed him out on the one, but the 2 power play goals, like off the goal line, I'm certain he'd want those back. That being said, though, he also made some big saves when we needed him, and at key times of the game for me when the game was tight. And you have to expect a little bit of rust. He hasn't played since Buffalo. It's 9 games ago, and then the injury coming off that, he doesn't spend a bunch of time on the ice. But at the same time, we got Blackwood, who's played now 8 of 9, and like, he needs a break too. So there's no easy game to sort of choose, because it's Mini and it's Winnipeg. It's all divisional opponents. So we just felt like for the timing for Blackwood and for Wedgewood, now that it's been 18 days or so since he's played, like, he's got to go in, and he got the job done.
It felt like the power play, the first chance, the second chance, even the third chance before Makar's goal was kind of like on one of those slow builds. Like, what was working?
Yeah, so first one a little rough, but then we get the great A off the rush attack. I think it was McKinnon, right, driving the net from Drouin, which turns out to be a great chance, and it could easily have been a goal. Gary makes a big save on it. Second power play, lots of looks, right, lots of looks, and empty net on a rebound that he makes a nice save, I think, on Drouin, and Lehkonen's there trying to whack it in, can't get it. It's kind of a little bit the way our power play's been going, but they stay with it on that shift. The thing I liked about our power play tonight, if you kind of watch off the face-offs, we got good pressure. There was a bunch of low scrums. There was 3-on-3. There are 4 guys down there, our 3 forwards. We were able to come out with it instead of having to go on a breakout again. It's that sort of relentless tenacity on the puck that often leads to good things happening. And they brought that tonight. So not just good decisions, because I felt like we were shooting it pretty good on that power play too. Like there was an attack mentality, but like checking the puck back, and it's all part of it that we needed to improve over the last little bit. And I thought tonight it was really good. They get rewarded. Hopefully we can continue it for next game.
How did strong
Sorry.
play between the blue lines lead to better success in both ends of the ice?
Well, they're a dangerous rush team, right? So, I mean, if you get caught going the wrong way on them, and they like to come north on their attack, same as us. And if you kind of get caught, I call it no man's land. Like you're in no man's land. You're not really forechecking the puck back from the D, but you're not above the forwards. If they keep advancing it by you, they're really creative, and they do a really nice job of finishing to the net. Their team they put pucks to the net, and they crowd the net, and they bang away, like the offside goal, prime example. So I thought like managing the neutral zone a little bit better than sometimes we have in the past against this team led to less D zone coverage time and less opportunities for them to play in the offensive zone, really. And so we did a nice job of it tonight. There's no question. That's where I thought the Middlestead line was really good.
Like he's kind of Mr. Everything, and he has been since he got here, but he's scoring at, I think, a 42-goal pace. Like, is that part of his game a bit of a surprise to you, or is that?
No, it's not really a surprise to me. I just think like because he's really consistent and repetitive of the way he plays and how he goes to the net and some of the things that he does away from the puck that create space for other people. And if he's playing with, similar guys, it will happen for him too. But, you can go through stretches where those rebounds are sitting there and you can't get, your stick on them and they don't go in, and then you can go through stretches where they go in for you, So I think but he's still always really consistent of creating those types of opportunities with his play.
As head coach, Drouin hits his 100-goal mark tonight too. How special is it for you to kind of see that happen for both of them in the same game?
Well, I'm not aware of all the milestones, to be honest with you. But I like when our guys buy in, put the effort in. They play hard for our team, and they're real good team guys, and then they get rewarded individually for that type of buy-in and work ethic. So he's come here, he's transformed his game from what he was when he was young, and I spoke about it, last year a lot, and he's become a highly trusted player on the defensive side, which allows me to play him against anyone or with anyone. And so he gets a lot of opportunity here, and he's made the most of that opportunity. It's well earned.
Last ones?
He's missed a lot of time this year, but it seems like every time he's in the lineup, it doesn't look like he's missed a beat. Is that a testament to the work he puts in while he's coming back?
Yep. I think the skating part of it, the hands part of it, it just comes naturally to him. But a lot of work is involved in that. Like I think you saw him, like he's not healthy enough to play, but he wanted to be on the ice all the time and make sure he's getting touches. So then when he comes back, it's just a matter of being able to execute in the limited time and space you get in an NHL game, right? So I think he's done a really nice job while he's injured of staying on the ice, working on the conditioning, but then also keeping his hands.
You moved Colton up to that top line, and that second line obviously very productive. What did you think of Colton's game, having moved him upward?
I actually liked Colton tonight. Yeah, I thought he was relentless. I didn't love the line tonight. I think they had their moments. But yeah, we're still searching for that mix, right? And it's difficult because it's always changing because a lot of those guys in the top six haven't been healthy at the same time. You got Colton injury, Lehkonen injury, both with, extended time missed, Drouin twice, Val twice now. So it's ever changing, but we got to find a way to get that chemistry, because the one constant, and that goes for our top line too, the one sort of constant that we've had that we really like and are skeptical to break it up is the Kiviranta, Kelly, and OC line. They just provide something for us. They're able to check top lines and still sort of chip in offensively. They can be a momentum changer. So we got to find the mix in the top six that that gets going, and we'll have 3 lines going every night. And then as we get more healthy, I think our fourth line did a nice job tonight, really nice job getting Ivan back in there. Pars played hard, and so did Yuri. So we're moving in the right direction, hopefully.
Jared, in
Last one, Sean.
the macro, people not in this room have written things about Mikko and his business interests. How is he able to compartmentalize business and the stuff? Because your veterans have seen everything, but he kind of still puts his nose to the grindstone. You wouldn't know about contract talk or this and that. How's he able to compartmentalize that?
Well, I think that's a sign of a good pro, number one. People, as they get a little older in their adult life, they're going to get other interests away from the rink too. It doesn't have to be just like contract talks. It can be like these guys are pro athletes and that's their number one job. But I think healthy work-life balance away from the rink, having other interests, things that you're passionate about, and that can be just family for some guys. It can be other businesses and all that. But I think that's healthy. You don't want to just sit and grind on the game all the time. You got to put your work into it. You got to know you're prepared in a bunch of different avenues of the game, but then you got to go and play. So I think it's just being a good pro, being focused on what you're doing and staying in the moment and putting everything you got into whatever you're doing at that time is the key to it.
Thanks, Jared.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think it all started off from us getting on the forecheck. I mean, we got the pucks back, got to play a lot on the ozone, and I mean, Drew and Mitty are very skillful guys if they get time and space in the ozone lake. So usually something good happens.
You guys were playing with McKinnon in previous games, and then you're with Casey today. How does that change how you guys play?
Yeah, I mean, of course it changes a little bit, but at the end of the day, we're trying to be predictable for ourselves throughout the lineup, so that helps.
Artturi, just how nice is it to see Casey get on the board, get a goal, contribute?
Yeah, I mean, of course it's great. I mean, he got us really going, and got our first goal, and really set the tone after that. I mean, I thought he played an unreal game today.
How important is it that you've got Blackwood and Wedgewood that are solid in that every night for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, of course it makes a huge, it's a big impact on this team. Both of our goalies are playing great hockey, so it helps a lot.
Makar gets his 100th goal. He's the 5th fastest defenseman in the modern era to do it. Does something like that impress you, or is that just another day out of Cale?
It's, of course, it impresses anyone, but I mean, he makes it look. How would you say?
Effortless?
He makes it look effortless sometimes.
Thanks, Artturi. Appreciate it.
What was clicking with the 3 of you guys?
Yeah, we're just on the same page, in the right spots at the right time. It made it easy for the guy with the puck to kind of find him or make a play out of it. And it was one of those games where we kind of saw each other the whole time.
100 career goals for you. Did you stop to appreciate that milestone?
No, not really. I kind of forgot. It was at 99 for a bit now after that Buffalo goal. But yeah, it's nice to get that 100. It's always cool to get any milestone in the NHL. It's a hard league to play in, and you cherish those moments.
On a goal like that, when you kind of do a little toe drag, is the goal there just change the release point to confuse the goalie?
Yeah, it's just trying to change the angle and shoot around that D, so maybe the goalie doesn't see it or he sees it the last second. That kind of surprised him, I think. And I've done that shot many times, never really scored, so it's nice to get one.
Your line
Feel to get back out there and make your first start?
Good. Obviously, don't want to let the first one in, but and then I stood there for like 12 minutes. So, I had some things I want to talk to them about, but it was just, it was good to play a game again. It was 2 weeks, and you lose a little bit of your cleanliness around the net, I guess, for lack of a better term. But as the game went on, I started to feel a little bit better.
Going into this homestand, Bednar didn't really want to say which game or if any games you were going to start, but was this one circled on your calendar? Did you want to face your former team?
I mean, actually, I forget what they said, like a scoring lover when on teams I've left. So they actually, I played them game 1 with Nashville and they beat me, and then nice to get that one. Obviously, Kiviranta as well, an teams I've been on, X-Star, and obviously a lot of friends that came over yesterday, about 6 of them, and got to hang out for a bit. So, yeah, obviously nice to beat former teams, and unfortunately gave up 2 to Robo, and I'm sure I'll never hear the end of that.
When your team's buzzing like that, like you said, you're standing there not seeing a shot for 12 minutes, how do you stay engaged in the game?
I still go through my checklist. I like to check every time there's a line change, hands that come on the ice. So there's little habits that I like to do to keep the mind engaged. You can't just daze and get bored. but yeah, I mean, obviously nice for the guys to go to work and get that one back on the early one, and then get a nice lead, and obviously held on to good 2 points.
You mentioned Robo's goals. A little bit of deja vu on the second one there. Like, how do you do it?
No, I mean, the first one behind the net, I knew what he wanted to do. Taser and I just ran into each other, didn't realize he was there. So I knew I was going to wait, and I was like, oh, I got time. I'm going to go in and just put my hand on him. Then I ran into Taser and lost balance, and he's a skilled player. And the second one, Duchesne goes high, and just a spot that, Blackie's amazing at that position. It's, something I got to get better at. I don't usually like to use the reverse, but, the game calls for it at times, and he found a hole, and, he gets paid to do so. So credit to him.
3 straight games against division opponents. Can you speak to the importance of getting the win over the first one?
Yeah, I mean, they got 2 games in hand on us, I believe, and I think we're tied now in points. So obviously 4-point game there, and then obviously Winnipeg coming back, and I'm not sure who else is coming up. Minnesota. So thank you. But yeah, obviously every game right now is going to be huge with the points that you can grab. No matter if it's 2 or 1, you just got to keep getting them, and obviously the positions will fall. But you get into the dance now, you get into the playoffs. It's anybody's kind of battle, but obviously if you can get home ice, it's an advantage, and that's what we're striving for.
Thanks so much, Scott.
Yeah.